Welcome to the Awakening Podcast. Find all our episodes on awakeningpodcast.org. Just scan the QR code, you'll find everything about me. Go to roycon.com. And if you go to braingym.fitness, you'll find everything about Arnold. And we both have school groups. So there's one on Brave Fitness, there's one on podcasting, and they're in the show notes. So today we're going to talk about gambling. And it's an important one, Arnold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really crazy because I don't know whether it's, do you know whether it's EU legislation or something else? Because a few years ago, it was only allowed on the very, very strong conditions. Advertising for betting or gambling. I don't know what the difference is, but it's like there, it was not allowed, and it was not allowed to have it on commercials on TV or to have it as a shirt sponsor. But now, you cannot avoid it. It's everywhere.
I remember seeing it on the channels, like say if you're watching ITV, so that would have been a proper channel, a UK channel, but the Irish watch it as well. And like if there was kind of one of these kind of in the jungle programs or something like that, where you'd have celebrities or even other people, but very popular shows, and always sponsored by a gambling company. And I was always thinking, how are they allowed to do this? Because you've all kids watching this, and it has just got 100 times worse since then.
Yeah, so it's only a few years, yeah, because I know in the Netherlands is that it was not allowed to have it as a shirt sponsor, but now, well, it still isn't, I believe, but it's like, it's everywhere. It's like you said, it's on shirt sponsors. You cannot watch any sport without something about betting on the thing. You cannot use the sideboards on the field, all full about betting and things. So, well, obviously, these guys are the guys making the most money because, well, you and I cannot afford to have a billboard in the Liverpool Stadium for our brain fitness or podcast father. Yeah, so these guys are making a lot of money, but they make a lot of money because you lose money.
Exactly. And like you mentioned about Holland, so when I was checking, it's great. Holland isn't allowed now. There's Spain and Italy as well. They did, but then they stopped. But it is in the UK, it's 11 out of the 20 Premiership teams have betting on them. And it's worse because they're saying, oh, in the 26-27 season, it's going to stop. Right? So you think, oh, that's good. Yeah, you'd assume, oh, they're going to stop the front advertisement. So, of course, you have to get curious with questions and things like that. I said, what about the back? Are they allowed to do that? This is what I got. They can still have gambling sponsors on the sleeves, in the back of the shirt, training kits, and stadium advertisement, which is LED boards, interview backdrops, etc. Gambling branding on their club websites, social media, and fan content, provided they comply with UK advertising rules, not targeting minors. How can you not target minors with that, Arnold? Because children sit down with their parents to watch a match. They are exposed to it. And the sad part about this is you've got all of these T-shirts. They're the club tops that the kids...
It's merchandising. That's where they make a lot
So
of money.
you have a child that's out promoting gambling companies, which then you have to look at the psychological effect, because there's a kind of, oh, they're our sponsor, I must support them. And like the numbers of kids 11 to 17, there's a high percentage that are actually gambling. They're supposed to be 18. And of course, there's ways around everything, just like smoking and drinking. So, like, I could even see it. I could see people are getting into gambling. And you don't realize the dangers till you see someone's lives that has been destroyed because of gambling. Because it's like any addiction. Like, you see someone that's into drugs, and they lose everything because they're into drugs. And gambling is the exact same. It's a fix. They can't get out of it. They're addicted because it's intentionally orchestrated that way. And people lose their relationships, they lose their jobs, they lose their houses, they become homeless, and there's a high suicide rate with this as well. So how they have allowed this, and they keep pushing it, Well, I mean, it's like everything in this world, it's all orchestrated.
Yeah, I would say that, well, we talk about football, soccer, which is, I think, the largest sport in the world. A few years ago, the number one sponsors were beer companies. Yeah, or but that was before the betting and the gambling thing. But I'm living in Romania. I don't know about any team here in the Romanian Premier League. Let me put it like that. Their first division. There's not a team without a betting sponsor. I haven't seen. So it's everywhere, and it's so incredibly easy because I regularly speak with a guy who, well, he has very low salary even for Romanian conditions. He has an app. So all of these super bet and whatever name they all have their own app. On that app, he can even watch the football matches. So there's no way of escaping it. So it's not like on public TV, whatever. No, he can see it on the gambling app. But he gambles for a few cents. So that is also very tricky because it's like, oh, it's only a few cents. But that was do every day for 10 matches for all the stuff. So in the end, I think if he would calculate it for a month, it will still be a lot of money. Yeah. And what I think is in addition to what you just said, is like, it is nasty because, and I think I'm correct if I say it's all across Europe at least, but it's also of Asia. The cost of living are going up, and the salaries and the inflation and everything is going down or staying the same, which means virtually it goes down. So people are like, I need extra money. What's an easy way to get extra money? Let's gamble. It's the most laziest way to, well, what people think is to earn money, but you don't earn money. It's only a handful of people, and it's only the owners of these companies earn money, not you and me. So, but it's like, but people have no other opportunity to do it. Because this man I was talking about, he already lost his job, or it will be in a week. And social benefit here is terrible. So soon he cannot pay his food, he cannot pay his rent, heating, electricity, he cannot afford it. And he's in his 50s, so it's not that he's an AI specialist and everybody wants him to be a job. So how's he supposed to make any money? So what does he do? I'm pretty sure he will increase his gambling, because there's no other way out. And that is sad, because that is happening at the same time. It's not only in Romania, it's in the Netherlands, it's in Thailand, it's everywhere. So for people, it's like, how do you call it? An opportunity as a last resort. They're like, I need to get some money. Well, let's get some gambling. That's what a lot of people, I think, still are doing. But it is a little bit that where they would like, oh, let's buy some Bitcoin because it only goes up.
I'm glad you touched on that, actually, because I was listening to different things. The casinos, which we've seen recently with a lot of the trickery, the house always wins. If you start winning, you're out the door. They don't want you in there. So don't think, there's going to, like, dispersed poker, lotteries. I mean, and the tickets, because, people go in, they buy the scratch tickets and things like that. You see people buying $100 worth of that. And then you see people online and they're scratching them all and they're kind of going, well, I spent $100, I made $5 and things like that. Lottery, I mean, your chances, the odds are against you. But even when you win, I don't know, it's 80 or 90% after 3 years, they end up bankrupt because their mindset isn't there for actually winning that money, and they end up doing the wrong thing. So that's not to your benefit either. And I mean, I know that from the lottery, just the way the companies work, there's a lot of trickery. They're supposed to be like, oh, we're helping charities and all that. That's not how it is. It's like they ain't good companies out there run by the government. And
Yeah, that's what I'm going to add. They're owned by government. I know the Dutch lottery is owned by the Dutch government.
so all you have to do is ask yourself, how many people trust their government? No hands going up. How many people want to do the lottery? You know, yeah. So yeah, but you're dead right with the crypto, because loads of people, they think, oh, it's only go up, and then people are acting on emotion instead of actually studying this and understanding, just like the stock market and everything. So they're listening to people online, someone doing TikTok and all this kind of stuff. Go away and buy this. And a lot of the times there's trickery involved because they're getting a kickback for doing it. And even on that, I've covered it on one of the shows. What happens is they'll say, oh, we'll give you 10,000 worth of this coin to promote it, or 100,000, whatever it is. So the people, great, you know, and they're not allowed to sell. So what happens is everyone is coming and buying this, and then the founders and their teams sell, and it drops. So even all the people that promote a lot of the time, they don't even get a penny. And there's so much scamming regarding the crypto world, and I cover some of that. Like, one of the ones that I want to touch on, and I've seen it so many, and it drives me crazy. All these football stars. Somebody that's on their way out, dropping down the leagues, and is kind of running out of money, if they kind of resort to promoting, gambling and stuff like that, you might understand it a bit. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous, he's like worth $1 billion now at this stage. I think his contract is like 200 million. Poker stars, he was doing it. So I remember when I saw that, I was thinking, because everyone's saying, oh, he was on one time there, he got rid of the Coca-Cola and put water, and everyone like, oh, he's great. Every time I saw him, somebody wouldn't even touch him and he'd throw himself on the ground. And I was like, that is not good for children to be watching that, because it's showing, if you're a liar and a cheat, you get rewarded. But then for a guy that doesn't need the money, that's promoting gambling companies. The other Ronaldo, the Brazilian guy, same. It's poker stars, Ronaldinho. And then you've Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson, and others. Like, these are people that don't need the money. And what happens is people, they're inspired by these people. So they think then it's like normal. And even Mr. Beast, one of the most famous YouTubers who's making millions. Oh, he gives away cars, he's helping the blind. He's promoting gambling. And it's like, yeah, and he's got massive, massive numbers, multi-million followers. And then he's promoting it. And then if you look at games and stuff like that, the ads that they do in the games, even in the cinema, like the lottery and different things, the scratch tickets and on games, they're making it look like you always win. They never show realistically. So they're brainwashing people to think, I do this, I win. How that's allowed, I don't know, but I see it at the cinema when I bring my child to the cinema, and I see it in some of the games or something that's advertised on the phone, exact same thing. Person puts in $1, presses a button, balls fall down. Oh, I win 10,000, I can withdraw into my Revolut account. All a lie, all fraud, but yet it's allowed.
To build upon what you said, what's happening, and I'm only counting what happened last week or 10 days. In Turkey, the Superliga, that's their Premier League in Turkey, they have found in the last 5 years 571 referees who are caught for placing bets. What? 571, not 571. Yeah? So it was like, shall I give that penalty? Shall I do this? Shall I give him a yellow card or a red card or whatever? This was last week. And the biggest news, I tried to look at it. I won't bother with the details because I don't know. It's like in the US, between the NBA, which is the basketball guys, there was an FBI investigation arresting 34 people across 11 states, so it's all over the country, including current NBA players. These guys make millions. coaches and individual linked to organized crime, mafia. Yeah, so they say this is one of the biggest, most audacious sports corruption schemes since the legalization of online sports betting. So, and people were put under pressure, and violence is like, if you don't bet or don't do this or whatever, we will beat you up or whatever, or worse. So it's the top guys, just like you said, it's the Ronaldos and all. Is it, I don't know the big guys in the NBA, but they are even much more known than our football players. Yeah, so they're corrupt as well. But even here, it's not really a small country, but on the world scale, Romania is small. I see here almost every day in the Italian competition, there's the trainer of Inter Milan. Inter Milan is one of the top 10 teams in the world. Top 10 teams in the world. The trainer is Cristian Tivu. He's a Romanian. I see his head every day here on the TV. They say, hey, you should go for Superbet. What? He's the trainer of one of those teams. And he's not a small thing. It's a full face and everything is on TV. Every day. 10, 20, 30 times a day. He's a hero here. Because, Romanian football is not the top. Yeah? So he's a top trainer of a top team in the world. And like, what he says must be true.
It's the exact same for Robert Lewandowski. So he's the top Polish guy. Plays for Barcelona now. He played for the top German teams as well. Same thing, lottery and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I can't drive anywhere without seeing his face. Like,
yeah. So it's like they're misusing all of these guys because these guys are for the average person role models. They're heroes. So if they say it's okay, it must be okay. So how can an average person, I know an average person doesn't exist, but how can they escape from this? When you go downtown, there are even places where you can place a bet in a physical thing and online and advertise. It's everywhere. I cannot go anywhere without seeing it. And when people are, Arnold, are you doing it? Nope. Huh? It's the same with everything. It's like, Arnold, are you using medicine? Nope. Are you drinking alcohol? Nope. Are you smoking? Nope. Are you drinking coffee? Nope. So they think I'm as mad as a hatter. But it's like everybody thinks what is normal because these guys are doing it. And if you don't do it, you're stupid.
you had Ladbrokes in Ireland and England. You'd all these betting shops. And I could even see that as I was getting older, more and more. And you'd see the amount of people coming out to these places. And when I came to Poland first, I'm 18 years, I didn't see much of it. And then I saw one opening up. I forget the name of it. I know it's got yellow on the thing. I don't want to say the name anyway. I don't want to be giving them free advertisement. And then you see more and more and more and more. So it's kind of making its way across there as well. What good has come from it?
There's no escape. It's like, what are alternatives? Look at what's happening last week. Many of these big tech companies like Amazon, like Salesforce, they're kicking out 30,000 people, 14,000 people. And in the case of Amazon, a lot of these guys are working in the warehouses. That's not the highest level of thing. So if you lose your job there, you've been working carrying boxes from one thing to another, to an assembly line, what are you supposed to do? What job are you supposed to do? Because it's not like, I used to work for Amazon, now I can work for another company. No, you can't, because they're all doing the same. Yeah, but I also have a mortgage and a family and kids going to school. Yeah. I think the only alternative is gambling, because there's no other alternative. There are no jobs, there's no education, there's no paid reskilling, nothing like that. So I'm pretty sure that's why they have to resort to that, and you can't blame them because there's nothing else. Yeah, suppose you're 40 years old and you've been carrying boxes for 20 years in an Amazon warehouse. It doesn't mean that OpenAI says, well, we got a job for you. Yeah, but they must eat. They got a family. So I think it's they're in a situation of there's no return. They got to do something. Well, either get into the criminal circuit or do this betting or other terrible things, because what else should they do?
And even if you look at a lot of these online, whether it's stocks and stuff, what they do is they allow you to come in and trade with fake money, so a fake account, just to kind of learn it. And that's a way of actually fooling you then to think, oh, I can make money. And a lot of them, that's what they do, because sometimes people mightn't have enough, or they might be just thinking, oh, I could lose my money. So they allow them to open an account, trade with fake money. So obviously you don't win, but then they eventually go, oh, I can do this. And then the emotion kicks in, and then they end up losing, because there's no emotion when it's not their money as such. They act and think differently.
Oh, wow. That is really, really manipulative.
Yeah.
Wow. So you kind of get hooked on something, and then you have to play it for yourself, and then you start losing all of a sudden.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I find this UK one, these are the teams. I mean, you'd have heard of these. Aston Villa, like there's Bournemouth, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Everton, very famous team, Fulham, Leicester City, Southampton, West Ham United, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest. Like, imagine all of them teams betting on it. Like, and then they're like, oh, next year we're going to be good. We're not going to allow it. Oh, it's on the sleeve. Oh, that's okay. Oh, it's on the back. Oh, that's okay. Oh, there's billboards around. Oh, that's okay. It's on our website. That's okay. That's pathetic. And all these kind of, this Drinkaware, Gamble Aware. Can you give me a reason how that could be beneficial? Because it's all crap. It's all lies, like. And if you listen, it's like the big pharma when they're advertising. The same with the gambling ones, like. It's like Speedy Gonzales when they're actually telling you all the warning signs, like. You'd have to slow it by about 10 times to understand what they're saying. And I speed up podcasts when I'm listening to them to buy 2. Even sometimes I can go to buy 3.5. And sometimes, and it's listening to it on the radio or whatever. I haven't a clue what they're saying, because they're just going, that's how fast it is. So I can comprehend speed. So they do these.
Even Roy Colin cannot hear it. But it's like that it is government supported. So the government supports you, then you get screwed. So a few weeks ago, we talked about elections and trust in the government. It's like what we said there, like the government is no longer there for your well-being. They're only there for their own well-being and their own wallet. It's don't trust these guys. If the Dutch government owns the lottery, which is the case, it's not to help you. So it's really please, folks. And it starts, I think, again also with the parents. It's like, prevent your kids from using this or giving them a shirt with the super bet on it. Like, no, it's not good.
And there's even more layers to that, because obviously that's one. But 2, if your mum or dad is going away buying the lottery every week, or buying scratch cards and hoping they win money, or betting online, your child is sitting next to you thinking that's normal. Oh, I've got a connection. Daddy wins. We're happy. So they have an association with a win. Obviously, they don't, they associate when they lose. But most people, they'll tell you when they win. Oh, I won X amount on the thing. They never tell you when they lose. That's kind of the way it is. And then you think, oh, they're successful. And yeah, so all I'd say is, just don't let your kids be wearing these tops. The association, it's
be very careful. Yeah, and in the end, all of these things are set up is that the house wins, you not. Yeah? So it's not fair competition. There's nothing fair about it. So don't be fooled. It's like the goal is that you are fooled.
And I'm not sure is this the same in Europe, but I know in the States, like lottery, there's tax associated with some of these things. So sometimes you pay the tax when you're betting, and then if you win, you don't pay tax. But there's sometimes people, they win the money, they forget there's a tax liability to it, and they end up spending all the money, and then they realize they've got a tax that they should have paid. They get plus interest plus penalties, and then the amount of fine that they get could be more than what they've even won. So you have to be aware of that as well.
Well, that is even trickier. So again, the goal is not to help you. The goal is to make you lose.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, I think so you might just quickly, before we finish there, Arnold, with the SKOOL group, you might just let people know what's included, because a lot of this is kind of, it's all down to the mind and being in control.
Yeah, well, what also this gambling betting proves is that you got to work on your brain fitness just like you work on your body fitness. If you cannot think clearly anymore, you fall for these things. So, and then these things eat you up. They fool you, to put it politely. So it like you need to make sure that everything going on in your head, your heart, and your gut brain should be very powerful and at a high level, and that can only do if you train it every day. That's what we do with brain fitness. And we have a community. We both have one about podcasting, which Roy has, but we work together. And the one around brain fitness, we have it on SKOOL, skool.com/brain fitness, where we have now a 7-day free thing where you can check our online workshops. You get free books. You get access to, later on, you can access to our 15-week training program. So have a look at it. 7 days of use is free. It's your community where we try to get you in a state that you're unconditioned. You're no longer conditioned, manipulated by, well, wait, how do you call it? The big man, or it's like the government and everybody else. Yeah, so please have a look. I think it's, well, of course, we make money out of it, but you have your health, well-being, and fairness, everything as well. So we both win.
Yeah, and you'll find that on skool.com/brain fitness, and then /about if you want to find out about it, but just the brain fitness if you want to just join there, and you'll find everything about me. Scan the QR code, go to royconn.com, and same thing does the Podfodder. Skool.com/podfodder is the one that I've got. So thanks, Arnold, and thanks for listening. Until next week, take care.